Definitely. In terms of setup there, buddy, you can see on here now, we're getting a nice spine angle, getting some nice angles there with your setup. We said before, left hand's higher than your right, so your left shoulder's going to be higher than your right at address. You've got that position there nicely, okay? What we're trying to do now as you come into impact is get your left shoulder, left arm, hands and the club all matching up into that impact position, okay? Now, again, take away the club is good, top of the back swing is nice. We need this shoulder to start moving up as this hip moves that way. If this hip shoulder comes down, the hip will just rotate, and you'll see a little bit of that, just slightly. Look at your hip pocket there. We want to see that sliding. It just starts pivoting about there. It should have been sort of sliding a little bit more as we come into impact. There's impact, okay? Now it's not perfectly there. You can see a little bit of a kind of a okay? Just a little bit kind of that way. Shoulders now at this point have almost leveled off from where they started, so you've got a little bit that way.
Move those hips that way, and
exactly. And what you would do is this hip goes a little bit that way. As you say, that moves the arm there, the hands there, and the shoulders that way. So you'll have that more and that more. Yeah, there'll be more tilt, more hands, and you'll get the better angle of attack into the ball. Now be careful of launches and spin. I would look at that spin rate. You want, as a general guide, whichever club you're using will be 1,000 times, okay? So a 7-iron around 7,000, a 5-iron around 5,000. If it's 4, 4.5, 5.5, that's fine. But if a 7-iron's getting 3,000, then you've got to go, hang on a second. So look at your numbers. If they're going, bloody hell, this is going miles, okay? Is the spin rates down? Now, is it the ball you're using? Are the grooves clean? Because grooves are going to be sort of that creates that spin on the ball a bit more. Loft and club head speed with a good groove.
They've just come off the golf course.
And that's the thing. So again, and if you play on the golf course in muddy conditions, and you've got mud in between the grooves there, you're striking the ball now, going to get less purchase on the ball.
It just shows how much difference the grooves make.
Oh, massively. That's why they made some of the grooves illegal, because they were getting too much spin. So the pros could just zip it back and they could knock it in the rough. And where you lose spin in the rough because the grass gets between club and ball, these square grooves they used to have years ago, whatever they were, would generate more backspin, so the pros could just smash a driver anywhere they wanted. Hitting the fairway became less of an issue because you hit the ball in the rough. One could also spin a 7-iron from that rough, but these strong grooves. So they banned those grooves to the pros. After hitting the fairway became more of a sort of an issue to do. And if you didn't hit the fairway, now you'd be punished more. Okay, and then they made the grooves that so you could get 95% of spin from the fairway, but like 25% of spin from the rough. So if you did go in the rough on the wrong side, you just wouldn't stop the ball at all. The ball would do and bounce to the green. So getting into that better contact spot for you is going to be the key thing we said. That is coming there. Now, as you'll see, because you're slightly bending here now, you'll look at this post-swing movement and go, oh, I don't like that because your arms look a little bit tucked up, okay? If we get that hip moving better, the arms will work wider through. It looks a little tucked there, but through. Generally speaking, the overall finish of that swing is lovely, good transference of weight, good rotation through the side there with your body, okay? Very, very good. Setup-wise there is good. It's now getting back into impact. See that sort of, the head starts going from here, kind of going down, down, and that goes around like that. So we're kind of going a bit that way, which just will encourage the ball to start a bit left and pull a bit left. Now you're able to release the club better just because your own general positions are better and you're not going whoop and fanning the golf club. They used to do years and years ago, okay?
Slightly over the top still, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah. So your right arm is a bit higher than...
Trying to drop the hands again.
You've got to, again, a simple drill that you can practice is when you get to here, okay, so you can see your spine angle now nicely behind the golf ball, up against a wall there, just trying from here, you get back here, just...
Yeah, I do that all the time. That's
hit the hip,
my warm-up.
Just get that hip bumping. Once he moves that way,
or you can just get to... And you you do go through that.
Yeah, exactly, with the wall. So if you get...
I like the warm-up.
Yeah, exactly. If we can get that hip towards target, staying behind it, okay, you can see your head kind of moving from there. We want the head to sort of stay there. If we rotated the top half and slid the lower half, the head would stay more on that green line. But you can see how it's moving more towards target. So rather than going from here and doing that, you've gone that. So now your arms have got to work low left, which then has to create that kind of tucked up visual appearance of the swing. So otherwise, mate, I've got to say, looking really, really good. That setup for me ticks a lot of boxes. Just be careful the ball doesn't get too far forward. Okay, if it does get too far forward because you've moved your spine a bit, if I'm here to that ball and I move my spine this way a little bit, now I'm aiming this way. If the ball's over there, you can't reach it. Okay, mate, make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Excellent.